Welcome to Saturday morning of Bike Racing Without Mercy, and a slightly different live stream to the usual, in that today I'm taking on one of Ed LAVERACK'S most difficult training programs. It's one that he actually talked about on his YouTube channel, and he's called it the Superman. And basically, the main part of the program comprises a really tough looking 30-minute segment where you do a max effort or 1 minute sprint at least 115% of FTP to maybe up to 125% of FTP with 30 seconds of recovery, and you repeat 20 times in a row. So it's going to be a tough one. Just going to do a quick sound check. Niels, how are you today? Very good morning to you. JW, good to have you on board. The level of concern is rising because this is going to be a very nasty 30 minutes. Can you tell me how the sound is? Because sometimes my sound is not the best. I'm just going to try and listen in. Niels, how are you today? Oh, sounds good. So today's training, hi Tim, how are you? This one is going to be nasty. I'm really not sure if I'm going to be able to complete it. Earlier on in the week, Ed had me do his race attacks, which I did outdoors, and they were horrible. You basically do 3 minutes hard, 3 minutes recover, 3 minutes hard, 3 minutes recover, 3 minutes hard, then have 4 minutes rest, although I took 5, repeating 5 times. And those 3 minutes hard were at a range of different intensities. All of them in the kind of zone 4 to 6. And it really wore me down because you're repeating basically 9 minutes of hard efforts in terms of each block 5 times. Then I did a little version of this where you do a warm-up and then you do 10 1-minute sprints with 30 seconds of recovery, 5 minutes of recovery, and repeat again the 10 sprints, and then you go into 30 minutes of zone 4. So I average about 275 watts for that. And today is the Superman, which is 20 times 1 minute sprints with 30 seconds of recovery. The 1 minute sprints at 115 to 125% of FTP. Stephen, hi, how are you? Thank you for joining. 4 hours indoor training, i.e. just a long endurance ride, JW. Because yeah, that's hard in a different way, I completely agree. Zwift on a projector. That would be awesome. I've got it on a little computer screen here. Right, so I'm going to take down a few carbohydrates. I've got a bit of warm-up time. So apologies, the warm-up's not going to be the most interesting. Is this a Tempest Fugitive flat? Or have I taken a wrong turn? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Hi Alex, how are you? How's Belgium? I've seen some really big rides out there on your Strava. Yes, getting stronger on the polarised training. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks, Tim. It's the flat. So how's the Ironman training going, Tim? I've seen some big swims. You seem to have had like a bit more of a rest week though. Is that ahead of a hard block to come next week? Let me just look at, yeah, warm up to 3 minutes at north of 280, 260. Racing tomorrow. Good luck, Alex. I very much hope you get low wind and a bit of sun at least. I'm sure you'll get some rain. Chris, hello to Australia. How are you? For those that have just joined, on the deck today is Ed LAVERACK'S polarised training. It's a horrid one. It's 1 minute efforts with 30 seconds of recovery, repeated 20 times. The 1 minute efforts are at 115 to 125% of FTP. I'm really not sure if I'll complete it or not. It's just a challenge. Okay, so hard week to come next week, Tim, or is it like sort of next level intensity? Week 2, medium level of intensity. Week 3, max effort, distance, intensity, all that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm on Strava. I'm Phil Lovett on Strava, Chris. Or Philip Lovett. Let me check. Yeah, Philip Lovett with 2 L's. Really try to feel a nice pedaling movement here, circular motion. Even pressure on the pedals. Nice one, Chris. I'll follow you back. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to all the swimming and running also on Strava to complement the bike work, Tim. Oh, probably going a bit too heavy there. Cheers, Niels. I'll follow back too. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I can definitely feel the quads are going to have to work hard today. That's right, Terry. Ed LAVERACK has a fiendish ability to create disgusting training sessions. This is my 3rd polarised training this week. LAVERACK the harrowing, yeah. think at 18 minutes, I get 5 minutes of recovery, and then we hit the main event. Yeah, I look forward to seeing the climbs in Melbourne. The Lantern Rouge says the climbs out there are great. And thus ends Ed's progressive warm-up. Yeah, Alex, I think what I'm finding is that in terms of the sessions themselves, they're very hard. And sometimes, after the first couple of efforts, I really wonder if I'm actually even going to be able to complete the session. But you tend to kind of ride yourself into it, knowing that this is the only quality session that you're going to have for a couple of days or whatever, because you need to recover for the next one. So it kind of spurs you on to kind of put in the effort and dig deep. I'm certainly sleeping better, and one of the things I've noticed is my legs, in terms of the muscular size, they've grown a little bit. Yeah, yes, Niels, the Dutch mountains. Although I understand from watching Jasper Verkool, the Dutch mountains are where you're riding into a headwind. Germany. Right, it's all smiles now ahead of the hell. Did I just turn around? I think I did. Right. Let's have a look at the training program. So Ed downloads all of the training programs into Training Peaks. And then they automatically get downloaded either from Zwift or What Bike Hub or the computer on the bike into Training Peaks for him to review. So my 1 minute efforts need to be at 344 to 404 watts. And then I go easy on the 30-second recoveries. So 144 is exactly 115% of what I do believe is an aspirational FTP of 299, because that's just based on my 20-minute power, 95% of that. And that was calculated without an anaerobic effort beforehand. Sorry, a VO2 max effort beforehand. I really do feel probably even more nervous here ahead of this, trying to do this in front of people, because it's so tangible what I'm trying to achieve. Versus a race, ironically. And so, upper end, in terms of the power, Ed is prescribed 400 watts. Now when Ed posted a video about completing this training program, I think he had averaged 115% of his FTP. And given the power to weight inherent within his FTP, that was some massive wattage over the 30-minute segment. Sondra, great to have you on board. Thank you very much for catching the live stream. It's a training session, not far off starting. 20 1-minute efforts at 115 to 125% of FTP and 30 seconds of recovery between each effort. Yeah, it will take time for my nervous system to kick in. I'll have a mental wobble, I'm sure, during the first 10. There's no gap between the first and second 10. I did that session earlier this week as a precursor to this. It's just 20 in a row. Right, let's bring the heart rate down a tiny bit more. I think I've had just over 5 minutes recovery here. So, seem for hammer time. And don't let me, this is my CV arcade buttons, Tim. The stop sign makes my avatar turn around, I've discovered. I should be racing CV arcade on Tuesday, either Tuesday afternoon or, oh here we go, I've done it again. Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening. Agnes, good to have you on board. How are you today? Right. I'll get to 25 minutes, a little bit longer of recovery than Ed had prescribed. I don't think he'll mind. And then we'll go. Oh, crikey, alrighty. Gotta stop doing that. And here we go. On 25, if someone could keep count. Just trying to keep it at the 115 level here. For the first few efforts. Just trying to find the right gearing. $19 to go. An intimidating 19. Simples. I love that meerkat. He should run for Prime Minister. Yep, it's going to be emotional. Heart rate higher than I'd hoped for at this stage. That's 3, isn't it? Yep. Feels like a big mountain to climb. Lactic is in the legs already. Trying a slightly higher cadence. 1 gear lower. Yeah, you're right, Tim. Got to improve the breathing. As you can see, this is hard already. Oh, 5. Nice one, Alex. Have a good ride. Trying to find the right gear here. Sorry. That's 6. Not very good at the first one of that. I'm on the flipping. Oh, I'm irritated now. Somehow I've got onto the 10%. I got onto the undulating course. It's too difficult to do it on that. That's 7, I think. That's right, Niels. There's no DRS. Eight. 9. Level of concern is high. 10, halfway. Ed, horrid, you fiend. 11, done. So, 13. 14. 9 wide head is horrid. Thanks for the support. Can't talk easily. $15. I've been a mess. Cheers, Ed. Trying to tell myself it's not as bad as a rep in a Gorby. It's like time stood still for that last one. 16. $20 of these. Jake. 17, 3 to go. Two to go. Last one. No. Nah. Haha. Oh yeah. Nah. I'm ruined. Ah. Oh. 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 Well then, let me just. Well, firstly, thank you everybody for your support. That was hell. But Ed, so we've done 3 of your polarised trainings this week, Ed. The race attacks, which I was telling people, is 5 blocks of 11 minutes, and each block of 11 minute comprises 3 3-minute efforts with a minute of recovery in between. And those 3-minute efforts are at varying zone 4, zone 5, zone 6 intensities. That was horrid. Did that outdoors, it's an hour and a half of hell. Then we did the precursor midweek for this, which is 10 times 60-30, 5 minutes recover, 10 times 60-30. Then I did 3 minutes recover into 260 to 290 watts for 30 minutes. That was hard, really hard, very uplifting. And then today, 20 times 60-30. And I found, obviously the first 4, 5 sets, very doable, you know they're well within your comfort zone having done the precursor. But when you're getting to 9, 10, 11, you're thinking, hell, there was a long way to go here. But you were right, I saw in the corner of my eye, Ed, you said, your heart rate's gonna say elevated now because you're in the zone and that's what needs to happen. And ironically, the nervous system is fully kicked in by then. And so the combination of the body finding an equilibrium in terms of heart rate and cadence and gearing and breathing and the nervous system kicking in enables you to kind of finish the exercises with a level of quality. I didn't really drop below the 115% very much, and I reckon on average I was probably 350 watts, that kind of thing, and obviously a strong finish. So I really, really enjoyed that, and I hugely appreciate everybody's encouragement on the board. I know I say it every week, but it massively makes a difference. It makes you want to dig in and go that harder. And now, I'm sorry, I couldn't do any more in me. I really drained the tank on that last effort where I was trying to hold 400 for the minute. But what I am going to do, Ed, and you haven't prescribed this, I'm going to hit now some zone 4 and see how I'm able to ride myself into a decent wattage, as if we've had a period of attacks in a race and now having to consolidate. And a nice thing about having done the really hard sprints is that the lower zone 4, upper zone 3 effort feels nice. Well, thank you everybody. I appreciate all the congratulations. And kudos to everybody for tuning in to watch. Really appreciate it. But these are polarised trainings from Ed. Make a massive, massive difference. Alex, who was on a stream earlier, who's a pro racer in Belgium, he's also a big advocate of polarised. Building the top end power, recovering better by having more zone 1, zone 2, and being fresher to go hard on the polarised efforts to build the top end power, and in so doing drag up zone 3 and 4. And I'm definitely seeing rapid gains as a result of Ed's training. You're going to see it coming through in the vlog. The vlog's always about a month to 5 weeks behind. It takes time to get them edited. But in a lot of the vlogs you'll see me do 1 or 2 polarized trainings in a race, and you'll see how Ed and his methodology has been gradually dragging up my power, and I've really been enjoying the training. Definitely, Mark, give this one a try. But have a look at my Strava, because ahead of this one I did the precursor, and that's equally, well, not quite as tough, but it's good to bank that, I think, before doing this one. Going to drop the gearing a little, bring the cadence up. Yeah, Ed had me warm up on a ramp in 3-minute increments to 3 minutes at 250 to 280 watts. Yeah, Jake, it is actually enjoyable because each polarized training, and Ed put something on his Strava, it's almost like preparation for a race. It requires you being well hydrated. I still often do them fasted on amino acids with caffeine, but well hydrated and mentally ready to dig in. Especially because the sessions are different every time. Ed is fiendish at just making small differences in terms of the efforts, well, actually quite major sometimes, most often actually, that have huge impact on the training session. I reckon when I look back at the Training Peaks data, that half hour would have a big normalised power. Unfortunately, I couldn't start a lap for that half hour segment. But based on last Wednesday, I think average power would be about 295 to 300 watts, normalised 315 to 320 over that full 30-minute segment, including the recoveries for 30 seconds. Weighing in today at exactly 65 kilograms. And you can see now I'm just able to play myself nicely in to an upper zone 3, lower zone 4 effort. Heart rate has come down a bit, not a ton. But I feel like I could do this for at least another 20 minutes or so. Yeah, 115% for 3 minutes without any recovery is hard, Mark. It's like the race attacks that Ed had me doing. Sorry. Yeah. I think it's not so much the suffering, Jake. It's the fact that we realise that mentally that's what holds us back, and we can push ourselves beyond our comfort zones. And that's really what Arnold Schwarzenegger was saying when he says, through pain comes progression. So for me, pain is pleasure. You see, I gradually bring the watts up from the 240 to 280, 90 range. Lets the body find an equilibrium. That's why racing's hard. You don't get to gradually bring up the watts. Yeah, for any adaptation, Jake, you need to push the body beyond where it's comfortable. That's the only way you create a muscle adaptation or a strength adaptation, or indeed fitness, I guess. You're either going longer and further or more intense in terms of cardio. I'll do another 3 minutes and then I'll warm down. Arnold is actually really eloquent. Watch some of his YouTube videos from his bodybuilding days. They're really uplifting. Now I'm finding this hard. Really focusing on the pedaling technique. Nice one, Quinton. Are you racing CVR today? Like the new kicker? I'm going to recover after this, Quinton. Rest day tomorrow. Well, nice one. How is the CVRK going? I'm going to take it on again on Tuesday. Oh. Oh dear. Well, so you're actually in Italy, are you, Quentin? That's incredible. Yeah, I mean, if you're in Italy, why wouldn't you do the Strada Bianche? To my mind, probably one of the more interesting quasi-monuments. It should be a monument in most people's eyes. Nice one, Jake. Thanks for your support today. A nice one on your FTP progression on Alpe de Zwift. Keep moving forwards. Is it the final on Tuesday, Quinton? Are you in the running for the victory at the moment, points wise? Pato, thank you so much for joining. Unfortunately, we're just coming to the very end of the training session. It was courtesy of Ed Laverack. 20 times 60-30, so 60 seconds hard at 115% or more of FTP. 30 seconds recovery, repeat 20 times. It's definitely emotional. I hope you're really well this morning. Thank you for coming along. Oh, right, Quinton. So you're building out the entire route. That is incredible. So CV Arcade gives people the design option to build their own tracks. And so Quinton and the CV Arcade team have recreated the entire Strada Bianche route. That is incredible. Do you know what? I reckon when there are more users on CV Arcade, because you corner and brake and you've got all the wind and all that kind of stuff, it will be possible for us to have full-blown stage races, long stage races, rather than the crits on that. I think that is the future. That will really get people migrated onto CV Arcade. Love that. That is amazing. That's tomorrow, is it? What time is it tomorrow? I didn't realise you had a disease, Quinton. I'm sorry about that. Crohn's disease. You are one incredible cookie in terms of your fitness, overcoming something like that. Nice one, Mark. Have a good training session. Try the precursor to this before doing this one. I promise you, that one is equally emotional, but it prepares you for this one. Yeah, Quinton, I reckon keeping the legs turning over is important. I often find if I take 2 or 3 days off the bike, it takes me about a week to get back up to strength. Anyway, I will DM regarding this Strada Bianche because I love the sound of that. But to everybody who's watched, thank you ever so much. Do check out the stats on Strava, Zwift Companion, and what was the other one? Oh no, not Zwift Power, it wasn't a race. But in the meantime, noon, I've got that, okay, cool. Thanks. In the meantime, please remember, whoever you are, and whatever you do, I know most of you have, live, thrive, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, hugely appreciated.